Hey everyone, we're Todd and Marsha, and we are excited to share about a recent farm stay that we had. We're going to start bringing more conversation to you guys about our farm stays to kind of give you guys a glimpse into where we are, what we're doing, our biggest takeaways, our favorite memories, and a little bit about like what we enjoyed about being on the specific farms to kind of bring you guys along on the journey. Our recent farm stay was 2 weeks ago. It was in Mount Gilead, North Carolina. We had the opportunity to stay by Michelle and Adam from Farm Life Outfitter and Shelter Mountain Farms. We were able to stay with them for a week. So what was your biggest or like your favorite moments of being by Michelle and Adam's?
So my favorite moments, I guess in terms of kind of working and what we did, was milking. We would get up in the morning. The first thing we'd do was go get Betty the cow out of the pasture. We'd walk to go get her, walk her to the milk barn, and then milk, and then walk her back out to pasture. So I think that was a really nice way to start the day, and it just was a nice feeling. And my first time milking, so it was pretty fun and interesting, especially doing it by hand, not using machines or anything. So
You did the farmer cappuccino with the milk.
appreciation. I love milk, so it gave me even more appreciation for milk and how much, if you're doing it by hand, it takes a while and you got to be patient with it. So yeah, that was my favorite kind of working memory, and then family memories of just all the kids and how much fun we had. There was one time when the kids opened the refrigerator and saw in the back of the refrigerator there was a little like container, and they asked Adam, their dad, about it, and he's like, yeah, that's my turkey call. And so he took the turkey call and did some turkey calls with it, but then he started talking with it in his mouth and saying names of the kids and us, and just kind of talking to us, and the kids just loved it. They just burst into laughter. Travis basically fell on the floor. He could barely handle it, and just that experience with them was amazing. And super special. So I think that for me was the biggest things that I took away.
Yeah.
So how about you? What are your most memorable?
So yeah, it's hard because we were there for a week and we did a lot, but I would second the milking and the kids. Like milking, when we were there, we had asked my grandparents when they had sold the cows, and it actually Stella, she's 7 right now, so I was a year older than Stella, one of the girls on the farm. So kind of like seeing
For the last time you milked.
for the last time.
You're 8 years old.
Yeah. So just kind of being there and putting the age to it, and like seeing Stella at 7 and I was 8 the last time that I helped on the farm before we sold the cows, and just having that connection back to the cow and watching Todd milk. And then the kids too. The whole family. We had a lot of tears in our eyes as we drove away, because we really bonded with the family, and we really feel like God showed us that family as a reflection of like what we can have someday, and seeing their faith and their family connection and to the land and to the farm. And Travis, their second youngest, like prayed every night before dinner, and the first night we got there, he prayed, and it like brought tears to my eyes. Just being in that presence and feeling God around us, it was amazing, and it was a gift. And their youngest, Sawyer, I took him a lot, got a lot of baby cuddles, so I really enjoyed that as well. But another big thing is you, like, and I kind of said this a couple times, but just seeing the growth of you, and just seeing you like jump right into chicken butchering. Like, it was your second time doing it, so it was a lot easier for you. And like, we'll talk a lot about chicken butchering in a little bit, but like just seeing you just step right in and be in the front of the line and just going right into that. And then throughout the week, just how much you kind of showed up to help Adam and be with the family, and just you were just like right there, like excited and like ready for it all, and just how much it lit you up.
No, it was fun, and that's I wanted to get my hands dirty and really get a feel for what it is we might do, or just to do it and realize, we don't want anything to do with that. That's kind of the main thing. So I wanted to jump in and see what it's all about. So
yeah. So speaking about that, our first day there, we did chicken butchering process with them, and we did about 100 chickens.
It's 120 chickens, I think.
Yeah, and then some turkeys.
16 turkeys.
16 turkeys. Yeah, and then before we even kind of went on the road, Tada talked a lot about, like, if we're going to eat the meat, we have to be able to take its life. And that we've had a pretty big journey about that, and it's important to give gratitude to the animal for the meat and that circle of life and the giving more than you take. And Todd was right in the front, and he did that. And
I think for me, I've never hunted, never grew up doing any of that, so I've never actually killed an animal to be able to eat it. So for me to kill a bunch of chickens and then butcher them kind of brings it full circle a little bit. You appreciate it a little bit more in a different way. And that also with the pig butchering as well. That was quite the experience. Right as we started and even all the way through it, I'm like, I'm going to be eating this. So then that, just knowing that it's not really gross or difficult anymore because you're eating the animal. So I guess it just put it in a better perspective and understanding to, just if you're going to eat meat, that's how you got to do it. Or I mean, you don't have to do it that way, but that's what it goes through to get to you. And I wanted to know if that's something we would want to do, or if it is, could I handle it? So, I mean, that's, I guess, the reasoning behind wanting to help with that. So,
yeah, and that was a big thing going on the journey that we're on. Like, we wanted to be part of all of the process, like from birth to death. Like, it's important to see the whole aspect of it to be able to have that full spectrum.
Well, yeah, and while we were there, second day, one pig had piglets, four piglets. So we had to go out in the woods. They have 20 acres behind their house and find the piglets because they're out, kind of wild basically, or not wild necessarily, but they're out, wherever they want to be. And so we found the piglets, and of course they're adorable, but then you kind of realize, we're raising them for meat. So it's kind of that balance of, this is a cute animal, also going to be our food, later this year.
Throughout the week, Adam was really open to sharing with us, like, what he was doing, like when he was doing chores and we were following him, and it's really nice to see that we're learning from the farms that we're on, but also we have a few mentors that we haven't met, like through books and videos, that he is also inspired by. So Joel Salatin, like, we wanted to stop at his farm when we were in Virginia, but it didn't work out. But like, Adam uses a lot of his principles and is inspired by him, and it's really good to like see that secondhand so that we can learn that as well, and learn maybe what Adam tried and then what he would do differently, or what he learned and would do differently, and how he also like rehabilitated a lot of the land too, that his ancestors did a lot of the work, but also the more that he's doing to it was really inspiring to see.
Yeah, and we were able to help him with the high tunnel that he's building. He had a lot of the upper cross pieces to go up, and Marsha and I were able to help him get those up. He was really happy that we were able to help him with that. And it's also something we think we want to have as well. So it's good to see how he went about it, because he kind of did some of the stuff himself. in terms of kind of the material and putting it together and how to go about it. So we also kind of realized too, and talking with Adam also, in terms of you can kind of talk about things and plan, but you really got to get started and just start doing things. So realizing that too, and that more or less is why we decided to go on the road in the first place, is to really just get started with it. For us, that's our starting point, is to get out and know what it is we want to do. So for us, we're starting. It's not a matter of, we don't have land and we don't have any animals or anything, we're not producing anything. Right now it's still something to us in terms of learning and having a better understanding. So now we feel way more confident just in this past 3 months of just what we've done and seen in going back and starting now and knowing what we basically want to start with. So I think that in and of itself is, we're accomplishing what it is we set out to do. So
yeah, and I mean, too, like referencing kind of 2 meetings that we had. So one of our friends' husband, he was saying, don't reinvent the wheel. And with farming, there's a lot of different types of farming, but we specifically want to learn about a specific type of farming. So we don't know anything about that. So now we're learning, so that way we're not reinventing the wheel. And we're like, yes, we're going to make mistakes, but mistakes are going to help us learn, but also we can learn and help, so we actually know more about what we're doing when we get into it and learn what feels right, what doesn't feel right. And then also another meeting we had with Jason, where he was like, the next right step, like thinking about the next right step. Like, you're right, like us getting on the road, that is our next right step, to be able to learn about farming, what feels right. And we're already learning from farms what we like and what we don't like. And being at Michelle and Adam's, it's almost probably identical to like what we think, like the 10 acres, like not the extra cattle, but like the 10 acres. And it was really nice to see that as like a reflection of that, because we were standing up by when we were doing the pig, and we were saying that from here to here to here to here was 10 acres, and like that in my brain kind of put the 10 acres to it, so that helped me kind of see into that,
visualize and know what it is we could do in that amount of space.
So anything else that are like takeaways that we want to kind of document? I want to figure out how to make bread like Michelle. Like, she was starting a sourdough, and she made sourdough crackers. They were amazing. And kind of like Todd said, you get that appreciation for milk, like once you milk a cow by hand. And Michelle made these sourdough crackers, and they were delicious. So like helps you find another appreciation, like for crackers even. And they were delicious. And then one of the days she made a bread, and I had the recipe, we have the ingredients to try to make it. But seeing how right now they were doing, when we were there, was no spend November, like how they're not spending any money this month. And they're feeding their family from what the farm produced. Like, that was amazing to see, and how good the food was as well. Is it an alligator?
No.
Okay.
No alligators yet. So I think all in all, my biggest takeaway is the family aspect, and the presence, and the connection that the family had and we were able to have with them, I think is our biggest gift, like Marcia said, from the whole experience.
Yeah. We will be back.
Yes.
For sure. We're already planning to come back to the East Coast again next year.
Even though the kids said that they wanted us to stay for 10,000 months, it was actually Travis's 10,000 months. And then I think Stella and Sydney said 3 years. But either way, they wanted us to stay.
Yes.
And we wish we could have.
Yeah.
So.
And that's like too, one thing that Todd and I are just kind of learning is everywhere we go, it's amazing to see how open people are to like supporting us and learning, and it's really a breath of fresh air to like feel that and receive that from people and in different areas and around the states and stuff like that. And
it's basically everyone has their differences, but in a lot of ways we're all the same, so just kind of support one another. And
so another takeaway was shortly after we arrived, Michelle and Adam have in-home church, and they invited us to it. And being in that group was amazing to see how everyone was supportive of one another. The kids were involved, and how open everyone was talking about the lesson of the week. And also we had some questions on some Bible verses, and Adam and Michelle were really open to talking to us about that, and how about the verse, but then also how faith has really come into our marriage and supported us in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, and this was just a whole nother, unveiling of, God to us and showing us this, I want to be a part of your life kind of thing, and we want to be a part of his. So it was very, very special.
Yeah. So we will continue to share about our farm stays as we go, because we want to be able to share more. A lot of you guys are asking questions about kind of where we are, what we're doing, what we're learning, and everything like that. And Adam and Michelle had given us some resources to learn from, so we want to post those to anyone that's interested. We're sharing our journey to inspire anyone that is wanting to get into gardening. We started
Or farming.
Like gardening, farming, anything.
Yeah, related to.
Yeah, because it's, you don't, like Todd said, you don't need to have land to learn about it. Like we're on that step now to learn about that. And like we started with container garden, and then we did a salsa garden. You can start different ways. So we really want to share as we're going to be an inspiration for you if that's something you're inspired by. So the videos and the links that we post, just take them in and be open to learning potentially new ideas, new concepts, new methods. Thanks for joining, and we will hopefully continue doing this together.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.